TCP starvation or UDP dominance are two terms that describe the same phenomenon. To understand what this is, you need to understand the fundamental differences between TCP and UDP. You already have a really good idea about how TCP works. By now, you've probably noticed that TCP is very sensitive to bandwidth constraints and delay. If it starts dropping packets, it immediately slows down. TCP is very polite. Well, you can think of UDP, or the User Datagram Protocol, as a really rude version of TCP. Just like TCP, UDP is a transport protocol, and it also doesn't care what path packets take or what order they arrive in. Both TCP and UDP also provide error control by calculating a checksum over the entire packet and including it in the header. But that's where the similarities end. Unlike TCP, UDP is connectionless. It does not bother to synchronize sequence numbers between two hosts because it doesn't even use sequence numbers, nor does it wait for or even expect an acknowledgement. It just starts sending packets. And what if UDP uses up all the bandwidth on a link? It has no concept of bandwidth or delay, so it just keeps sending packets. And what if those packets get dropped? Well, too bad, according to UDP. UDP does not use sequence numbers, and not only does it not retransmit lost packets, it doesn't even know that they got lost. So far, UDP sounds like a terrible, selfish protocol. But really, UDP is very useful for certain applications. Voice and video, for example, are usually sent using UDP as the transport protocol. TCP is actually a really bad protocol for voice and video. Suppose that a few video packets get dropped in transit. Well, TCP would have to wait for those packets to be retransmitted and then reassemble them. This would cause significant delay in the video stream. Now, suppose that instead we use UDP and those same few video packets get lost. Well, from a user's perspective, the video would be missing a few frames maybe, but that's it. UDP is not adversely affected by packet loss or delay nearly as badly as TCP is. This makes UDP suitable for delay-sensitive applications like voice and video. So, what is this UDP dominance TCP starvation business? Well, imagine that we have a UDP video stream and a TCP stream taking the same path over a network. And both the TCP and UDP connections experience congestion so that both the UDP and TCP streams or flows start dropping packets. Well, TCP is going to back off, which is going to free up bandwidth. But UDP is going to keep sending. And in fact, UDP will just go ahead and start using that bandwidth that TCP just gave up. So now what happens is that TCP tries to ramp up again, which is going to slow the rate of UDP packets a little bit, but this time it starts dropping packets sooner because it has even less bandwidth than it started with. So it drops back into slow start again, while UDP continues on its merry way, sending packets as fast as it pleases. So let me ask you a question. Who is dominating this network? UDP is, obviously. And who is getting starved of bandwidth? TCP, of course. But not only is TCP getting starved of bandwidth, those TCP flows are also going to experience higher latency and lower throughput. So, what is the solution for this ugly problem? Well, we need to use quality of service tools to protect TCP flows from UDP flow dominance. Specifically, we'd place UDP and TCP flows into separate queues, and you'd either limit the amount of bandwidth for the UDP flows, or you would give the TCP flows a minimum bandwidth guarantee so that they can't get starved out by UDP.